Hey everyone. I know. I'm sorry for not making any videos for such a long time. I really just have not had the inclination to make videos. I haven't really found anything that I want to make a video about. It's probably how it's going to be for the future. Until I find something that really interests me, I'm probably not going to make a video. So hopefully, with the videos I make, I'll try to be interesting and try and capture your attention and make the subscription that you gave to me worthwhile. Anyway, a few days ago, I found this story. It was a surprise to me because I thought something of this magnitude would be covered a lot more, at least on the more liberal media stations like MSNBC and even on YouTube. But I have yet to see an outcry over this. I haven't seen anything on YouTube about this video. And I think it's a damaging verdict which could have very real consequences. First, though, a little backstory. Um, Cheryl P. Rich, I think her name is, was a teacher at the Hosanna Tabor Evangelical Lutheran Church and School in Redford, Michigan. She took a leave of absence in 2004 after becoming ill and was diagnosed with narcolepsy. The following year, after seeking treatment, she was ready to return to her job when she was told by the school that another teacher was hired and that there wasn't a place for her anymore. So Peerich threatened to sue the church and they promptly fired her. Now, after taking her case to the Supreme Court, they decided unanimously, 9-0, that federal discrimination laws, specifically the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, cannot overrule the First Amendment right to the free exercise of religion. These kinds of decisions are the reason why me and many others, not just here on YouTube, get so angry about the power on and reach that religion has in America and indeed on a global scale. The Supreme Court has basically said that religions can discriminate against someone based on any factor that they see as undesirable, and federal law banning this type of discrimination cannot be applied to them. Religion has now become a force that can supersede the law when they see fit, and the people that are the victims of their bigotry don't have any recourse. So Mormons, you want to go back to that glorious time between 1849 and 1978 when black people weren't allowed to become clergy? Baptists, do you want a separate drinking fountain for people of Asian descent? Well, that's fine by the standards of the highest court in the land. I'm sure many fundamentalists are joyous over this decision, declaring it a triumph for religious freedom and personal liberty. But would they be so happy when they realise that this decision could also pave the way and be used for advocating Sharia law? After all, the Supreme Court didn't say only Lutherans could be exempt from anti-discrimination laws. I bet they would have fun with that little nugget of information. Now, I expect this case to be referred to many times in the years ahead whenever someone brings a discrimination lawsuit against a religion. Now, I'm not saying that they will win all the time, but it is a powerful precedent to have on your side. Sadly, although this positive confirmation of bigotry by the Supreme Court is new, this is a worrying trend in US law that started decades ago. In the Civil Rights Act of 1964, Title 7, Section 703 states, quote, "It shall be an unlawful employment practice for an employer 1. To fail or refuse to hire or to discharge any individual or otherwise to discriminate against any individual with respect to his compensation terms, condition, or privileges of employment because of such individual's race, color, religion, sex, or national origin, or 2. To limit, segregate, or classify his employees or applicants for employment in any way which would deprive or tend to deprive any individual of employment opportunities or otherwise adversely affect his status as an employee because of such individual's race, color, religion, sex, or national origin." But in section 702 there are exemptions, quote, "This subchapter shall not apply to a religious corporation, association, educational institution, or society with respect to the employment of individuals of a particular religion to perform work connected with the carrying on by such corporation, association, educational institution, or society of its activities," unquote. Having a exemption clause like this in one of the biggest and most famous acts in American history regarding basic human rights is a slap in the face to everyone who fought to make this act a reality. You can't have wide-sweeping reformist legislation but then say that there are some organisations that don't have to adhere to it. At some point you have to realise that while we can have whatever beliefs we want, if those beliefs start infringing on other people's rights, then those rights must be paramount. Discrimination should have no exemptions. Your thinking is your own, but bring it outside of your own individual mind and it enters the realm of physical, tangible life, and as such they become accountable to previous written law. The free exercise of religion, as stated in the First Amendment, should not be able to circumvent established law. We are all free to have whatever ideas we want, but when those ideas become actions and they have a real effect on other people, then they are subject to the laws that we all have to live by. A belief in something is not more important than the reality of having a person's rights curtailed. In my opinion, the only idea religion should be able to single out against is ideology, because at the heart of religion is a group of ideas, and if you disagree with those ideas, then you're obviously not going to want to be part of that group. I don't see that as discrimination because it puts everyone in the same boat. Of all the religions in the US, not one person will be accepted by all of them, so we all have the same level of judgment placed on our ideas. That, however, is all the leeway I am giving them. If your religious law is different from the already established law of the country that you're in, then you should be made to adapt. That law should be applied to everyone equally, regardless of whether or not you have a certain belief. I'm not even adverse to religions having their own courts to settle civil matters, such as the Jewish court of Beth Din, so long as they respect the law of the law of the land and realise that they cannot overrule that. Religion has its place in society. I would never be for banning it completely and would actually fight to keep it, but its place is not so high that it can't be held accountable when it does something wrong. Elevating religious organisations onto a pedestal where laws can't touch it will only damage a free society that seeks to treat everyone equally. Living in a country where some people only have to obey some laws some of the time is anathema to what the United States stands for. We may not all stand equal before your God, but we should all stand equally before the law.